Hi, friends, and welcome to another episode of Secrets from the Saddle. But before we get started, I have some coaching announcements. Now, they are wrapped around fitness for cycling and cycling skills. Now, the first one is I am going to be launching an online fitness membership, and there's going to be cycling involved in there too, but not till the fall. Now, what it's all about is that cycling is great, but we certainly need to think about muscle development and strength for strength, power, and speed on our bikes. And what's better to do is to work out with weights and bands and start developing those muscles. So for you guys, this is super special. Get on my VIP list so you get a great deal on the first time membership. Go to cyclefitness.online. Get on the list and you're going to get a great deal. The next one is my cyclingskillspro.com. And these are my online cycling skills programs. So I have a 4-hour cycling skills intensive. You get all the things you need to know to really improve your cycling and exponentially become a more efficient and economical cyclist. Or you can do it in a 4-hour, you can do it a 4-week, or you can get a downloadable module where you can just do it at your own pace. And use this code PEDAL to get an extra $50 off. With that, have an amazing episode and enjoy the interview.
All right, thanks everyone for joining us for another amazing episode of Secrets from the Saddle, all things cycling with your host Sylvie and this amazing young lady, EVELYNE Gagnon, who is a Quebec cyclist. She's a pharmacist in Quebec City. She has an amazing, I'll say, portfolio for being a para-athlete pilot. And so a little bit about her background with that respect is that she spent a number of years working with para-athletes as a pilot. She went to the Pan Am Games in Lima, Peru. Okay, say that 3 times fast. In 2019, where her and her partner secured 1 gold and 2 silver. And we're super excited to have her on the podcast. Welcome, EVELYNE.
Thank you.
So thanks so much. And I always like to get started as you just sharing your story on how you got into cycling. And now we're going to talk about your experience or decision to become a pilot. So how did you get into cycling?
Well, my parents and my older sister were really like active. They were like cyclists too, but like more on the mountain bike side. Oh. But when I was young, I didn't want to do anything with cycling. I was like, oh no, that's boring. I don't want to go on a ride. Like, no, there's no way I'm doing that. And one time I decided I wanted to race cross-country skiing when I was like 14. So my dad was like, okay, we'll do like a deal with you. If you ride the trainer like for a full week, like you're gonna be able to go on the cross-country ski team. Like I just want to know if you're being serious about like the thing. Like, oh shit, okay. And so I was in the garage and like my dad's trainer was like super noisy, like the old version of like stuff. I was like staring at the wall with my iPod and I was like, okay, I'm doing that. Okay, nice. So I did. And so I went in the cross-country ski team, and then during the summer, everyone was like doing cycling. So I went to my parents again. And I was like, hey, mom, dad, can I do like road cycling? They were like, no, there's no way you're doing that. I was like, but why? Like, because you quit everything you're doing like every time. Like, so we're not going to buy you a road bike of like $2,000 and then it's going to take the dust in the garage. I'm like, no, I promise you I'm going to ride, and I can rent a bike from the club, and like it's only like $150 for the whole season. And so, and that summer I did more like kilometers than my dad, so I was like, oh, take that. So that's my competitive side who started her with that. I was like,
Wow.
yeah, I'm gonna prove them I can do this. So, and then with school, cycling was easier than like skiing because like it's during the summer, so like it's you're done with school. And since I was living in Saguenay, so like 2 hours north of Quebec, so all
Yeah.
the races were super far, like for cross country skiing. So there was like kind of no point of doing that. So I slowly went only to racing like on the bike. But at first I was like very bad. I was getting dropped like after one pedal stroke because I couldn't clip probably. So and
That
then
happened to me once.
yeah, but it happens to me like a full season, like, approximately. And then I was scared of being in a pack, so I was always like riding, I don't know, like a meter behind. So it was super hard. Like a criterium was like my biggest fear. So like turning every time, I was like, oh my god, I can do that. So like it took me, I would say like 3 years to be able to hold the pack in the Quebec races.
Wow. Well, that's, they do say it takes like 4 years
Yeah,
to
but
really develop those cycling skills, but good on you for staying.
yeah, there was like a lot of people were saying like I don't understand how you continued cycling and not like that person because I was so bad compared to like the other of my age because they were doing that since they were like 7 or something like that and it
Yeah.
was their whole life and I was like I don't even know what a leg warmer is like I have no idea like I have I have one bib I have one jersey and then that's it.
You
But
know what? Sometimes it's just not knowing what you don't know that just keeps
yeah.
you going out. You're like, yeah, I kind of like this, whether I'm like getting dropped or not, and I can see myself getting stronger, and I'm gonna
Yeah, I was
keep.
like, why I would like give up? Like people were like, oh, it's good that you continue and you don't like quit the race. I was like, my parents drove me here. I'm not gonna like give up the race. Like it's not gonna be fair for them. Like I mean, I'm here to ride my bike. I
Right?
mean,
They'd be like, that's it, no more cycling for you if you're not.
yeah, I mean, and for me too, I was like, what's the point of like paying and like driving and then not finishing your race, even if you get dropped? I mean, you can still train at least and like improve in a way. So I think like in my whole like career as a cyclist, I like I DNF only like 3 times because I had no other options than like DNF. So it's kind
Yeah.
of
Oh,
I'm,
I
I'm
love that because I've. Did you actually before? Did you join a team when you're in the Saguenay, or did you always race by yourself?
no, it was a small club. It was
Okay.
called Acidos Lactic. So it was Pierre Lavoie who started that that club. Yeah, it's a weird name for a club, but yeah, we got we got what we got, and
Oh, right.
but
Yeah.
yeah, and Saguenay was a big like place for good cyclists, like a lot of like guys from Saguenay went pro, like
Mm.
Antoine Duchesne is still riding pro right now, like in Europe. And then like in the women's, like there was Audrey Lemieux, who was also like
Oh
a
yeah.
Canadian pilot, and like a lot of like good cyclists. So it was like our small like local races were like provincial races level at least. So it was good to learn, but yeah.
Yeah, for sure. So like I was just gonna say I had that mentality too. I'm like I'm always gonna finish a race regardless of if I'm last or if I have to crawl across the line.
Yeah.
I'm never gonna DNF because I can't avoid it, right?
Yeah, and I mean, people are asking like, why did you DNF? And you're like, I didn't feel about finishing. I mean, that's
That's
that would be weird. So
I know there's actually one race in Saint Raymond, and I think this was 2013,
so
2000.
it was probably like 5 degrees, rain, and yeah,
That was in
first time I'd ever done it, because like I was always like, I don't want to drive that far. But I went there with so there's three of us, two other teammates, and I remember like it was, I don't know, it started like 9 or 8 or 9. Like it was early, and it was freaking cold, and it started snowing, and it started raining, and I just remember looking around at what people were wearing, and I'm like, oh my God. I was like bundled up in my jacket and my winter gloves, and some people were like in short sleeves. I was like, holy crap. And the thing is that I don't know how many people DNF didn't finish that race, but it was 3 loops of 20. And the first 2 I was good. The last one I started feeling like the coldness set in, and you know, like when your core starts being cold, you're like, I better finish this or else I'm not going to finish. And I actually podiumed. I was like, because everybody DNF.
It happens
Nobody
sometimes.
left. Like people just start peeling off. And I'm telling you, Evelyn, when I finished that, my 2 teammates didn't finish. I cried so hard. I couldn't get my gloves off. I couldn't get the keys out of my back pocket. I was just like, and I sat in my car and I wailed. Like I was so cold. I'll never ever forget it. I have the worst podium picture. I'm just like, but I was the only one there. It's so funny.
So this is what happened when you race like in May in Quebec and stuff. It's always cold, and you're like, the week before it could be like 20 and sunny, and like the week after it's like almost snowing and it's super cold, and like, oh shit.
It's like the further north, you never know what you're gonna get. But so moving forward, so your race experience, the ones you're talking about, that's in your teens, right?
Yeah.
So how did you advance? Like, what did you do after high school?
Well, I just continued like cycling with there was not a lot of teams at that moment, like for junior. So I was mostly like independent, because it doesn't really change anything like for the Quebec races and stuff. And I was working in a bike shop, so I had deals on my bike and what I needed, so I was good. And when I was like when I turned elite, so it was my first year of university, I think, and I just had few teams now and then, like mostly from I raced 2 years with the cyclery.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, in Ottawa.
Were you coached by Jenny as well?
Yeah.
Okay, I interviewed her the other day.
And Jenny is so nice. Like she's the best. Yeah. But the team was more like needed more commitment from the riders, and I was starting my master, so I was like, I can't take that anymore. So like because I didn't want to like add the pressure on me to like needing to go there or do that. And since I was from Quebec, like going to Gatineau, Ottawa is not super like close as well. So I decided I was like done racing. Clearly it was a fail. It was the like worst retirement ever probably. But like so, and then so that was in 2014 that I decided that. But my friend Audrey Lemieux, like she called me because she started piloting, like a para athlete, and she called me saying like, oh my God, Evelyn, you need to do that too. Like they need another pilot for like another woman, and you should do that. Come on, it would be great. And like Joanie Caron is also like piloting. It would be so nice. Like there would be like the 3 of us. She was so hyped. I was hyped. So I was like, okay, yeah, I will call that person, and we'll see. And so that's how it went. It was like she was from Granby, the first athlete I rode with. But her bike that she had from Cycling Canada was way too big for me. So like the first ride we did together, I couldn't put the saddle
Oh
like
no.
like enough. So I was like, it was super hard to pedal because the saddle was too high. And then I was like, man, we can like do any race with that. And it was like a month before like nationals. So I was like, man, we need to find something. So Cycling Canada had like a frame that was too small. I don't know, like a custom frame for like two athletes that they didn't like order the right size, I guess. I don't know. The story they didn't doesn't tell.
Here's the frame. You can.
Yeah, so like she bought the frame, she bought all the parts, and like we asked someone to put that like all together, and like we got the bike like literally a week before nationals that year.
Oh gosh.
Like, okay, we're going to nationals, and it was a good races. We finished like third like for the TT and the road race, and so I continue for like another year with her, and the third year like she was getting married, and like so she didn't have a lot of time, so it was more like of a in between season for me. So
Yeah.
I started back racing like alone, like all
Just
the
independent again.
yeah, not independent. I was in a team from Montreal. It was called a Stingray, but it doesn't. Well, it changes name right now, so I don't know it. All the teams change names all the time. So that was in 2016. Yeah, so
Okay.
that was the year like that I kind of like stopped racing the tandem because like my athlete stopped, and so I raced on my own, and it was actually like a super like good year for me. I won like Charlevoix, the Grand Prix
Ooh.
Charlevoix, and I finished second in the Lachine Crits, like the series.
Yeah.
I was living in Montreal, so of course I was doing Lachine.
Yeah, really
Yeah.
cool.
So
Charlevoix is hard. Holy.
yeah, and then the next year, the year after that, another like woman lost her pilot. Like she stopped piloting. So I was like, I was an unemployed pilot. She was an athlete without a pilot. So we merged. Like that's how it happened.
Yeah.
So like we went for a ride like in Quebec, and like okay, I think we could do something because we were both like small sizes, so it was fitting. Ride a bike was like perfect for me too. So the that season was hard because we didn't ride a lot together, and
Mhm.
so like in the first race is always like a beginning of May, so when you don't ride a lot before that, it's hard to do something.
Yeah.
So after that, like at the end of the season at nationals, it was very very better, and like everything. And and then year after that, 2018, we qualified to go like to go for a World Cup in the Netherlands,
Yeah.
so, because we did our standard. So it was a good experience, like a very like cycling culture in Netherlands. Super
Yeah.
flat though, so not
Oh,
very like not very good for our type of of cyclist, but anyway. So and after that there was the Bécomo World Cup, so in the east of Quebec,
uh,
very far, like a 5 hour drive from Quebec, and so it was
that's
happening way before that, but it stopped for a few years. And 2018 was the first like year they got that World Cup back, so it was good to have like another like World Cup, and it was close, so it was good. So and then 2019 we got selected for like the Belgium World Cup, but we decided to go to the Italy World Cup too, because it was a week before. So we were able to do that, but we were like on our own. So we had to book the Airbnb, book the flight, book the travel from like Italy to Belgium. I asked like the father of a tandem from Belgium to like take us from the airport to the to the hotel.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
because what are you gonna do with that bike?
Yeah, because the bike is so huge, and like the drive from the airport was like an hour and a half, and I was like, oh, we're not gonna take a Uber for that. It's gonna cost like 300 euros or something like that.
I can put that thing on the roof, right?
Yeah. So I was like, oh, okay, we need to find something. So I asked like the girl from Belgium, and I was like, do you know someone who could like take us? And she was like, oh, sure, my dad, he's gonna be happy to do that. So like he was super nice, and he was cheering on us after that during the race. And like the girl was like, oh my god, my dad is such a fan of you. He's like, where is Evelyn and Annie? I want to go and talk to them again. So I was like, yes.
Oh, that's awesome. Oh
Yeah.
my gosh. I love it when like cycling community comes together.
Yeah, and like yeah, I made friends with like such like amazing people like during all those years, and so 2019 we got a good result at the Belgium World Cup, and it was the biggest like World Cup in history in terms of like people of tandems, because we were like 22 women's tandem, so it was very it was a big pack for like for paracycling, and
Oh,
we did a top 10 like I think like 9, so that got us like selected for like the Pan Am Games later
oh,
in the summer, and
yeah.
also the fact that we did the best time trial at nationals for the women. um, and so, yeah, at Pan Am's, we had to do the track event, but the fact is that we never rode like a track before. So, yes. So I was like, okay, we need to ride the track bike at some point. So
Oh,
I
wow. So is that the same type of tandem bike that you would ride for the road and the track? Because I know they're totally different. Like because the gearing and so
the frame is like it looks like it could be the same, but the frame is not the same, because like you need to be able to change gears at the back, and like and it's probably more like solid I guess, but it's
yeah.
so Cycling Canada had a bike.
Did it fit?
Yes, yes, we were very lucky because it was a small track frame. So, but like I had to ask one of my friends to have like aero bars, because those were like too big for me. So like I had to put together some stuff, and like
Oh,
and my coach spent the day with us in Beaumont on the track to see like how we were doing,
uh-huh.
and the national like next gen coach was there, and he was like, oh, they they can ride fast on the track, like they did maybe he didn't think we would be good. I don't know, I'm just those are just assumptions. But
It'll be
it's
okay.
like they were like, okay, like it's like, okay, we need to work on that. So I was like,
So,
okay.
so the
So
Pan Am's, was that a time trial on the track? Or was it like a group?
no, it's the events on the track for tandems were like the kilo and the pursuit. So like yeah, so only like alone like on the track.
Okay. I was like, oh
Yeah,
God.
there's no like pack event for
Okay,
tandem.
that's good.
There used to be, I think, like there was even like Madison like on tandems before I heard of that. So I was like, oh my god, I'm glad I wasn't born in those areas.
Yeah, really.
Like
Oh gosh.
yeah,
I think I just what
yeah, Madison on a tandem would be very scary for me. Actually.
yeah. Yeah, I
So
would imagine. It's
yeah,
scary.
so like a day of track, and then few days at on the Milton track, and then we were off for like Lima. So like maybe 4 days of track cycling and like our history of cycling. So I was like, okay, we're gonna do a kilo of pursuit. We practiced the pursuit, like, so I was like, okay, we did one pursuit. But when we did the kilo, it was our first kilo. Like the I never.
Kilo.
It's
Evelyn?
4 laps of the track.
Oh, okay. So it's a time. So it's like a 1 kilometer. Is it
Yeah.
like a 1 kilometer? Oh,
1
okay.
kilometer. But you start like on the pursuit, so you start on the gates. So it's
Yeah.
not like.
Oh,
So,
really?
yeah, so you need to accelerate the bike, which is hard to do on a tandem. So
Yeah.
yeah, and the corners is very close to the start. When, like, will I
Yeah.
have enough speed to do that? And
Oh, wow.
at first I was super scared of like standing up, like start, because to accelerate a track bike, the easiest way to do that is being like up the saddle, of course.
Yeah, to
But like
start.
on the tandem, it's hard like to be like coordinate. So
I
so
I can think of like the couple of times my daughter and I'm like, okay, let's like, out of the saddle up the hill, and
yeah,
boy, that was
the
not
first times are not super pretty. It's like, oh, I hope nobody saw that, or
1, 2, 3, go. Sorry. On the count of 3.
yeah, no, that it needs to be more simple than that. You just stay up, and then when your pedal is down, you just went up.
Oh, well, there you go. See?
Yeah, and then you stay down when you want to sit, and that's it. Because
Oh, okay.
the less you talk, the more like the best it would be.
Probably. Yeah,
Yeah,
really. Okay, now. No, wait a
yeah, and then after that, you're like, when you're tired, it's like, fuck it. Like, you just don't know how to say things, so you need to keep it very simple. It's like, okay, go, or like,
when you see me getting up, get up.
it's like up, down, down.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
you got
yeah, on the first event in Peru were the track events. So we spent a lot of days at the track in the days before the race, and then like on the pursuit was the first race, and we ended up being like the 2 Canadian teams in the final. So we were like, oh,
really?
nice. So that's cool, and we were super close, and we finished at zero point 0.6 second in the final. So
Wow.
we lost silver by 0.6 seconds, but like, it's okay. It's another Canadian team who won, so we were just like, we were hearing like screaming everywhere on the track because it was all Canadians. Like the coach were like, go, and like the other coach was like, go, and then like it was very like special
Oh
to
my God, what are the odds, right? Going up against your own country. Huh?
yeah, well,
Second, first, huh?
yeah, the odds were very in our favor because like there was not a lot of like teams,
Right.
because it's Pan Am, it's not like the world, and
Yeah.
like on paper I think we were kind of in the 3 best teams, like
Okay.
the two teams from Canada. And then so we finished second, and our first kilo of the pursuit was very fast. So I was like, oh, maybe we could be good at the kilo the 2 days after, or the next day, I don't remember.
Yes.
And we were the last team to start on the for the kilo. So
Oh,
I saw all the times. I was like, I think we can beat that, but I don't know. We never did a kilo, so like so like okay, I think we can do that if we don't make mistake, and like we go. And so we started and we went all out. It's like my legs I couldn't like get out of the aero bars because my arms were so like weak because I went so hard. It took me a lap to be able to change my hands.
oh
So,
no.
and then I looked at the screen, the big screen, and I saw that we were the first, like that we won. So I was like,
Wow.
whoa, we won. Woo.
You know, it's probably better that you didn't. I was just thinking, was it a good thing or a bad thing that you saw all the times? Because I guess you like, but then you didn't know where to put yourself anyways, because you've
Well,
never done one. That's
I
probably a
mean,
good thing.
when we looked at our first kilo of the pursuit, like so the first kilometer, we were faster than like most of the teams who started. So I was
Ah,
like, I had a good idea that we could do that time. Like
yeah.
I mean, the other team from Canada was the one to beat, and that's what happened. So we went another time. We went first and second. So that day,
Oh,
yeah,
cool.
yeah. So that was very like it was very like it was very good because like you just like put your eyes on the big screen and you see that you won. So it's a it's a very like special like feeling.
Oh, I bet.
Yeah. And like
How about
I'm not very patriotic, but when the national anthem like went for us, I was like, oh shit, that's for us. Like I mean, I'm so proud to be a Canadian right now.
And how did your athlete feel? Like, I
I
mean, I'm sure
I
she felt the same.
I told her like I told her like, Annie, we won, and she was like, what? Like, yes, we won.
Oh,
So
because how visually impaired was she?
she
She couldn't
couldn't
see anything.
she can't read on a screen. It's too
Oh,
yeah, everything is kind of like blurry, and she can see
yeah,
colors and stuff. And so yeah, she had no idea we won. So that was uh that was good. So yeah, she was,
oh, that
of
was
course she was
exciting.
happy, and it's it's always like a few seconds after me, like when
What are you so excited about? Oh yeah,
oh yeah, we won. By the way, we won.
by the way we by the way we won.
Yeah, so, no, it was very very nice. And then after that, there was the road races. The time trial didn't go as good as we wanted, but I mean since we're small, like
Yeah,
we don't have like the pure watts to be good on flats and
right,
stuff like that. And the course was like flat with one hill, but like mostly flat and
right.
super windy. So I mean, and it was a mixed podium with the men. We were like factorized, so they just take off some of our time, and they put the women and men together. Yeah,
Ah,
it's a they always does that for TTs between all the categories, like for when there's not enough like tandems or like enough participants. But
right.
so we didn't really care that we didn't podium because like
Yeah,
we,
you're like,
we
I already put all my effort in the track, so
yeah, I was like, now I'm a track cyclist. With all my big experience, I'm a track cyclist. Yeah. But the road race was like so the last event was the road race. One of our like the other team from Canada went like in a did an attack like with like 2 laps to go, I think. It was
mhm.
like 10 Ks for a lap. And so we just sat like bitches in the Brazilian wheels because I was like, oh no, I can't go at the front. My teammate is there. And then 500 meter from the finish, we sprinted them. I was like, oh my god, I feel almost bad, but that this is bike racing, I guess. But I was like, oh, so
You should have been up there front, just both
yeah.
of you break away.
When another like when your teammate goes, you can't really like, and like they went, and at that same moment we had a problem with our chain ring, so we lost like kind of few seconds, so I had to chase back on like the other team from Brazil. And then I mean I couldn't take the chance to attack and then just bring the Brazilian to the other team from Canada.
Right, right, right. Yeah.
And they were stronger anyway, but like on the sprints were kind of good, so I knew we had a good chance at the sprint. So
Is that where you got the silver?
yeah, yeah, the other silver, yeah.
Okay. And who came gold? The other.
The Canadian, like, so we all it was
Oh,
always like Canadian, Brazil, like every race.
Right.
Yeah.
You're like, you guys can have the time trial. I'm okay. I'll just like.
Yeah, it's okay. It's okay. But
Oh
yeah,
wow! So that was your last. Well, I guess 2019 was everybody's last season of anything.
yeah. I
Um,
did. I never thought it would be, but like the Annie, the woman I was racing with, she decided to retire after that season anyway. So
yeah.
I was like, what I'm going to do in 2020? I was kind of depressed. I was like, I don't have another like athlete. Like I want to continue, but like how can I find a new athlete? And so it was kind of like it was hard. Like for me, I was like, I don't know if I'm ready to just take someone like from the bottom, like from the bottom when you were at a certain level. It's hard to sometimes to say,
Right.
okay, I'm gonna take someone who doesn't know anything about cycling and then put her on a bike. I'm like, okay, no, I'm not sure I was ready for that.
And we're gonna train 20 hours a week,
Yeah.
and we're gonna go to the. Like,
Yeah, so but so the pandemic like went in the right timing for me because like in anyway like I had a good like I had plans for like fixed gear racing and
oh,
roads and stuff, but like obviously nothing of that happened.
right.
I think my last race of 2020, like before all that, was like the fat bike Quebec championship. Crossing like
Where?
Lac Saint Jean on a fat bike.
Oh, oh, I've seen that.
Yeah, 30K of white deserts like this. It's like, where am I? Where am I going?
Am
Oh,
I going in the right direction? Am I gonna fall through the ice? Am I
yeah.
gonna?
There's a snowmobile. I'm on the right way. Okay, good. I'm coming. I'm good.
Oh
Yeah,
my gosh.
yeah,
That would probably unnerve me. I'd be like,
yeah. It's very weird to be like on a lake that is that big, and then
yeah.
you're like alone, and all you see is white, like on the
What do you
right
mean
or
you're
left.
alone? Like
Yeah.
you're in between packs, or like?
Um, there was not a lot of packs. Like I was, and
Oh,
on a fat bike, it's hard to follow someone because like sometimes you follow someone and like you're not following exactly the same track and then you fall or like
oh,
it's very hard like depends on the conditions, but like on that day it was kind of it was super hard to hold a line and follow someone, but so I
right.
was mostly alone all the time, but
Yeah, sometimes it's best that way.
yeah.
We can talk about that.
Yeah,
So now what are you doing? It's 2021 and we're all kind of sitting there kind of
yeah,
ready from Swift all winter from Swifting all winter long, and it's kind of like, what are we gonna do? Are there races, and then some are starting to get canceled?
yeah. I mean,
What's your plans for
last
the
year
future?
I registered on Zwift because before that I didn't see the point of like Zwifting because I was like, I don't mind just riding my trainer with my interval taped on my bar and like watching a movie from the 90s, like from like a cycling like race probably, and like yeah, I sound super old when I say things like that, but like
Oh, I'm kind of the same. Like I prefer, sitting on my rollers and listening to a podcast
yeah.
and, putting through some intervals. But yeah, I felt the pull of Swift. Maybe you did too, from everybody else being on it.
Because it's just I decided to start a Zwift because like all the ski resorts were closing like last year in March. So I was
Oh,
like, oh, all I can do right now basically is ride inside. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna ride on Zwift, and because I know a few of my friends are doing that, so okay, let's try it. And like it's very like since I'm very competitive, I was like, okay, I need to like level up like quicker. So I need to find a way to do that. So I read all the things on Zwift Insider on like how to level up quicker, and like yeah, I like, oh, I need to do all the badges, like, so all the
Oh my gosh,
all
that
the maps. But like I only have 3 to do left. Like, so the PRL full, the Mega Bretzel, and the Uber
Oh,
Bretzel.
I did the PRL full.
Yeah, I know. I don't know how.
That one out of the way.
I really don't know how you did that, because I'm tired just looking at those numbers. Like,
Well, you know, it was 12 of us
oh,
did it together. And we are on like Facebook chat while we were on there, and we had like it took like 7.5 hours. You probably do a lot faster, but the thing is that we timed like 3 stops, and it took us like for like 15 minutes or something.
yeah.
So it took us an hour, 7.5 hours. So it probably would have taken us 7 hours.
Yeah.
And yeah, that was like an all day Sunday. We started.
I mean, I would do that like probably like in November, like when it's like not super great for riding outside, not very good for skiing. So that's the only time I could do that, because like otherwise I'm like, there's no way I'm sitting inside like for 7 hours on my, and like the first time I did like an 80 or 90K on Zwift, I was like sweating so much. I was like, shit, I need like 7 bottles of water or something. I don't know. Like, it's like the hydration on Zwift is so like important. And sometimes you're like, man, I don't have enough like bottles. So I was like texting my boyfriend, can you come and like give me a bottle? I don't want to stop, because I'm in a meetup with my friend. So if I stop, I'm dropped. So, but yeah.
I'm gonna have to like sprint and catch them.
Yeah. So
that's funny.
So yeah, I want to do all the badges, but yeah, so 3 left, and I still have like the 25 times the Alp the Zwift to do. Like, I don't know how this is so long, like 25 times. Not in the same ride though, like in total.
Oh, there you go. You stop, go, stop, go, stop, go.
Yeah.
So what are your, so if like, you know, it's April now, things just shut down for all of us. What are your plans? Do you like, if something happens this summer, what are you hoping to get out of the year this year?
Well, I mean, if I'm always race ready, like, I mean, I never stop to train. So I mean, I would be happy if there's like some races like last year, like Quebec Championship, and if I can if I can ride on the tandem again, I would be happy. If I with the with your daughter probably, but
oh, wouldn't that be great? Because I did chat with her about that, and I was hoping Granby would have been a one.
Yeah, I was surprised Granby got canceled, because I mean, it's a time trial, so I mean, there's no problem. But I mean, right now everything is so complicated. I guess they didn't want to take like the chance of like doing it and having to cancel it like a day before, because I guess all the races will probably happen like later in the season. Like all the May races, I'm very not sure they're gonna happen, but maybe July, August.
Well, put your down for July 10th, because that's when our club event is.
Yeah, okay. I'm gonna mark my
15K. I'll make sure she's ready. I'm like, because I'm the organizer for that event. So it's on the schedule. I was going to send out an email to past racers to say it's still on. And now I just have to talk, to the FQSC about all the regulations and policies and how they run the time trials now, because it's all outside, right? Like, there's no going into buildings. It's just like a roll in, check in, do the race, leave, I guess, and wait for results. And so
I mean, last year for the TT, there was no like holding person, like, so the person was like, there was like kind of I don't know, a stand, and like so you just stand on it and you push yourself like when
Oh,
you're
really?
strong. Yeah,
Oh, really?
yeah, because they didn't want any like another person to hold someone because it would be like too
Right.
close, but it worked well, I guess. I mean,
Hold on.
yeah.
Just a second. My son. Well, it's a good thing I can edit these. Like, stop banging on the window. Oh my gosh, it's so cold out there. I'm like making my tea,
Oh,
get my sweater on, my scarf. I'm like,
yeah, you look comfy. That's it.
and I got the heater down there going on and off. I'm like, oh my gosh. But yeah, so yeah, that's interesting. So I got to find out everything that has changed.
Mm.
And you know, and I'm hoping I've already talked to the region here and they're good with it. I just have to
Yeah.
apply again for the event and probably put in all the policies. So I have to find out what those are.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
But I guess that like a lot of people bought like TT bikes because they know that it will be the kind of race that will likely happen during the season. So like TTs are more popular than before because of that. Like
really?
yeah, because last year like in Quebec City we had like a local races,
Mm-hmm.
and the organizer is like super nice. He's like he's probably 75 years old, and he wants to like organize races, and he's super like practice. So he did like 10 TTs, and
Last summer?
yeah,
Wow.
not maybe not 10, but like at least six, 7, and like
You're
there were like over 80% every time on a weeknight. Like it was on Wednesday night. So
wow.
yeah,
Is this in Saint Martin?
no, it was in Quebec City. So
Oh, Quebec City.
yeah,
Okay. Wow. That's
yeah,
pretty cool. Because I know locally the OBC opened them up and they had quite a few, but I didn't think that time trial bikes had gotten that popular.
yeah. But in Quebec City, what we did was like there was a category like a separate category for like normal bikes. So
Right.
I was doing it on my road bike just like
Okay.
to train and like to have a race, or I don't know. So that's why maybe there was more people, because like they were like, oh, I can compare myself to the other like normal bikes. So I mean that's good, that's
Yeah.
nice. So yeah,
Oh, super cool. Well, I hope like I'm not into doing like weekly events, but you know, a lot of people are. I just find Quebec a little bit more liberal than Ontario, which is way more conservative. And I know like with the FQSC, they're more open to trying to make it work,
yeah,
right? So that race seasons continue. And I don't know, with Ontario, they have stuff on the calendar, but no website to to reference to. So I'm like, okay. So I don't know how much or, you know, like the distance or anything, or even like exactly where it is. So, but anyways,
Mm.
so yeah, so this year, and I assume like, you know, you're looking to continue building on your experience and going to be a pilot for the future, just to you see
yeah,
yourself doing that for a while.
yeah.
If
I mean, my goal is to continue if I have like someone, if I have someone to ride with on the tandem, because like a lot of the pilots I know are like way older than me. So I guess I have a few years
yeah,
that
really,
I can, if I'm still like in shape, I guess I can continue. And
right,
I'm still like on the athlete council as the athlete rep. So I want to still like be involved in the
Mhm.
changes and stuff like that. Yeah.
Well, that's super cool. And so we're going to be watching you for sure. Obviously, we're going to be in touch. But I want to thank you so much, Evelyn, for jumping on here and doing this interview with me. I think it's so important, and it's really exciting, you know, that you want to continue being a pilot, and for, you know, hopefully like newer para athletes that are coming in that are visually impaired and that need somebody. And it's good that you're super, super eager, and hopefully maybe you'll get to work with my daughter. Who knows?
We'll see about that.
I'm not part of that. Well, I am, but I'm not, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
But, and so I just want to thank all of our listeners for jumping in and listening to this episode. And hey, if you know anybody who's looking for a pilot who wants to ride tandem, and contact Evelyn. All her information will be.
Come now. Come now.
You have to be a smaller.
Yeah. Yeah, about like a 5 feet tall and like 120 pounds. Or like...
There you go. That's her ideal.
Yeah.
Ideal para athlete.
Yeah.
So thanks everybody, and make sure to put your notifications on to get all the amazing podcast episodes that are coming up. And don't forget to write us a review, because Evelyn and I would love a 5-star review and a good review off of this, wouldn't we, Evelyn?
Oh, we sure do.
Yeah, that's right. So make sure you write that down. I think you can do that in iTunes or Apple, whatever it's called now. But thanks a lot, everybody, and have an amazing weekend. Take care.